Yo, what's up, everyone? How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing on this Sunday morning? Oh, thank you. Yo, actively crashing out, it's been a bit. What's up? I'm almost certain it's Saturday. Or Sunday. Oops, Sunday. Yes. Can we ever see your face? I'd consider it. I don't know. Like now that the evil children are basically gone, I don't think I'd super mind, since the community seems to be better now. Glances at the evil. But What to do? Also, I realize my air conditioning is going. That thing is loud. I really need to get those little panels or whatever. Oh yeah, ooh. Let's not discuss the pressure drama. Let's not. Ooh. So, I probably need to get a drink or something. But while we're here, let me see something. There was something I was gonna do. Yo, cherry pie. Welcome. What is this? Buy me a coffee? Ko-Fi donation alternative? Sponsored result? This has to be some sort of scam. I have never... Brother, that's so goofy. I mean, if it's better, then it's better, but interesting. Thanks to this channel, I finally started watching Hasbin. I put you on. Let me... I think it was... All right. I was just testing the bot. Cuz I didn't have originally here for Jax. Oh goodness. Tell me your all toys. My things. Ooh. There we go. Nice. What are y'all on about? Oh, hold on. I like stopped reading chat for a second and it went by very quickly. Hello, how are you today? I hope you're doing what? Oh, I clicked on the... Oh, hold on. Hold on. Whoa. Down box. And then I need to add another browser source. Un momento. Alright. There we go. Alright. Genuinely, your Jack's impression is really good. Like, you're typically pretty spot on. Aw, thank you. Good Lord, general commotion. Baby crying. Why are y'all eating? Police sirens. My favorite internet Jack's impression. Aw. I think your best voice, in my opinion, is Kinger. Aw. I wish you could bite water. Interesting. It'd be funny if you had a model that's Vox's head on a wheel. I think I have that avatar on VR chat, but my computer dies when I play VR chat. Hand me your old toys. Playthings, toys. Toys. Alright, an inspired Jack's Burger. Ooh. Aw, thank you. Hi, baby. It's a Sebastian audio. Yeah. Here, hold on. I need to take off my hoodie. It's hot. Could you say it with a little more gusto? Or the it's news to me, and then it just keeps repeating. It's news to me that it's news to you. It's news to me that it's news to you. It's news to... I love all the silly, stupid remixes of songs. Like the Baby Boo remix. She call me baby, she call me boo. She call me baby, she call me boo. She call me baby, she gon' call me. She gon' call me baby, she gon' call me baby boo. Baby boo. Also, I need to test this, see how this works. Oh, nice. It has a little... nice little thing. Wait, upset about what? No, it's fine, it's fine. Oh, okay. It's okay, it's okay. Ooh. I think, hold on. I think I can do any sound I want. What should I say? I can say something, and then that'll play every time somebody donates. I could say you've got mail. Like I get a donation is like, you've got mail. You've got mail. You've got mail. I don't know what that means. I don't get the reference. Crosswalk, wait. What? Wait. 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 I don't know what that. Another one, thank you. I don't get it. So I'm not doing it. And nobody will explain it to me. If you can't explain it to me, then I don't get it. It's just a meme thingy, I don't know what. So you can't explain the origin of what you're trying to tell me. Okay, yeah, it's an audio. I don't know what it is. So why would I do it? I don't know what it is, so what? Why would I make some random audio that I've never heard the stream donation sound? Think with your noggins. Think with your nogglers. Think with your nagaboggins. Let me see.
Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you.
What the fuck is that? Here, how about this? I'm just gonna make the stream donation sound me screaming, like really reverbed. Let me make sure my noise suppression's off. All right, excellent. Testing, testing. All right, well, I've got hella. Fuck it. All right. I'm walking back a little. Ugh. Agony from being given money. It'll make me focus though. I'll be like, oh, money. That's the money sound. Wait. All right, let's see. Beautiful. Alright. Now let's just silence this. Let's split it here. Alright. Let's clean it up. Yeah. Oh. Alright. So we got that, and then we're gonna amplify it. Oh. All right, I had to mute for a second. Ugh. What do you mean mess? What do you mean mess with my scream? Let me see what I can make. I'm listening to it. Yes, only Ko-Fi donations. Yes, Beanie. Hold on. I gotta loop it real quick. All right. So I can mess with some of these filters. Good God. Less panning. Oh, okay. All right. Make it higher. What, like, go like this. No. I don't think I want to pitch shift it. Hold on. I can. Let me look. Let me look. No, I think it's good as is. Right? Oh, my face is different. Oops. Knock that off. What do you mean post the raw audio? Like, if you want, I can make a screaming compilation and post that. Because I can do a good amount of screams. Just hooting and hollering. Ugh. What if I did this? We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Perfect. Now let's add some more reverb to it. Let's give it a big old trail. Beautiful. Excellent, excellent. Let's see. And only your URL. Ooh. Could you say it with a little more gusto? Bleh. Ha ha ha, Kane, you are so funny. Alright, let's see. Hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. The text that appears, I can also... Oh, hold on. Give me 1 second. I can make this better. Hold on. Okay, this is nice. This is nice. Hold on. Baby. All right, let's see how this looks. Why is he British? But that's cool. And I can also do this, but I don't know how I feel about this.
Someone has parted ways with 3. And they left a message, this is a test alert. How exciting.
Would y'all like text-to-speech on or no? British lady. Oh, it's all good, Swiper. It's all good, but thank you anyways. I just gotta say it somewhere publicly because I know those people. I know a lot of people. They'll just come and look at my channel, even if they don't like me. They'll just come and look at my channel. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna say it here because I know they're probably gonna read it, and I know I'm never gonna speak to them again. And they need to know. They gotta know. I can make it. Yeah, y'all like that? Light blue. Ooh, I can also get an animated GIF. Hold on. One second. What would be? Let me go on. What is it? Giphy or something? Hold on. Like I may as well make it Vox. I just gotta find a good one. Oh, that was like Yagami's laugh. You would be correct. Let's see. We'll go through some. We'll go through some GIFs and see which one y'all like. All right. Let me see. What is this? That's reactive. Okay. Un momento. Sorry for being quiet, I'm just like brain focusing. Dude, you ruined it. Okay, I need to see how big this is.
Someone has parted ways with 3. And they left a message, this is just a test.
Goodness gracious, it's just becoming, the entire stream is just becoming Vox. An hour late for work. Goodness gracious. This is always Vox, but it's okay. It's okay. Are we permanently working for Vox? No. At some point, I'll maybe like make a PNG tuber on stream, like an updated PNG tuber of my OC guy. We could also put in a goal overlay, but no. But it's good to know that's there. Temp pardoned. Goodness. All right. Aw, I'm sorry to hear that. Damn. Well, before we get into whatever else we're gonna do, I did some more covers if y'all want to hear them. Rubs my hands together. Also, do y'all like that GIF? Is that a good GIF? This. Aw, Steph doesn't want to hear him.
Someone has parted ways with 3. And they left a message, this is a test alert. How exciting.
I'm not doing a shadow milk GIF. Also, let me slightly update this. I want to see how the lady pronounces this.
Someone has parted ways with 3 schmackaroons. And they left a message.
Excellent. I like that. Can it cycle through GIFs or only one GIF? I think only one GIF. How about this one? How about this one? Let's see.
Someone has parted ways with 3 schmackaroons. And they left a message.
I need to make that smaller. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see.
Someone has parted ways with 3 schmackaroons. And they left a message, this is a test alert. How exciting.
No. Different GIF. Let's see.
Someone has parted ways with 3 schmackaroons. And they left a message, hello from the other side.
Oh, wait. I'm so smart. Hold on. How do I rotate this? Can I not rotate? Okay, never mind. I was gonna make it. Never mind. Yeah, I was gonna put him on the against the glass. Let me see. Let me see if that one's in there. Let me see. Thanks to me. Let me just look up Has-Been Hotel. See what I can find. Because I'm not finding like a bunch of good gifts. Oh my god, this is beautiful. Oh my god, this is absolutely beautiful. It's not even Vox though. It's just beautiful.
Someone has parted ways with 3 schmackaroons. And they left a message, did someone push my button?
Oh my goodness.
Someone has parted ways with 3 schmackaroons. And they left a message.
Oh, I love that. What if I sent like 3 test alerts?
Someone has parted ways with 3 schmackaroons. And they left a message. There was a young bot from Kofi who said, well, hello there, do excuse me. $2 and 10 cents, £4 and 3 pence. It's all in your bank with no fee.
All right, so if there was ever like a bajillion donations at once, I would have to run to Ko-Fi and turn off the stream overlay thing so that it doesn't just Go blah 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 blah. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Okay, so it's either... Oh. Never mind. Okay. All right. I think that's good, and then let's go here and see how this looks.
Someone has parted ways with 3 schmackaroons. And they left a message. There was a young bot from Kofi who said, well, hello there, do excuse me. $2 and 10 cents, £4 and 3 pence, it's all in your bank with no fee.
I think it should just, like, entirely cover up chat. I think that'd be funny.
Someone has parted ways with 3 schmackaroons. And they left a message. Insert pop culture reference.
All right. There we go. Do I have a ref? No, I don't really have a ref. But there is the Sona channel in the server. Where are you? Yes, Sonas. There you go. I'll ping you. There you go. All right. So now, to the thing I wanted to do, which I kind of don't want to do, but if I just make myself do it, then all is well and all is good in the world. Un genau Moment to go. Turnaround refs? What do you mean?
Welcome to my character mod.
All right. This is what we're doing. Oh, yeah, the music. I didn't show you all the music. Okay. I'll show you all the music first. Let's see. I did this one. This one was all right. I'll show you all the, yeah, this one, and then the other, and then the other one. Yeah. That's right, I heard the story over and over again. Gee, it's swell to finally meet her other friends. That's right, I heard the story, don't really like how it ends. Gee, it's swell to finally meet her other friends. What did she say about me? What did she say? What did you do without me? What did you do? Did you play games without me? What did you play? Did you think all this time that I wouldn't find out about you? That's right, I heard the story over and over again. Gee, it's swell to finally meet her other friends. Oh.
really is her. She can't be serious.
You know her, Pearl? But can you tell us who she is? Who am I? Who am I? What are you even saying? I'm the loser of the game you didn't know you were playing. Let's play another game. This time I get to win. Lives on the line, winner takes all, ready or not, let's begin. Oh, that's right, I heard the story over and over again. Gee, it's swell to finally beat her other friends. Oh, that's right, I heard the story, don't really like how it ends. Gee, it's swell to finally beat her other I just don't feel like posting them because, like, you know, but, did I show y'all the Markiplier one? Break out of this place? Why would anyone want to break out? The outside world recoils in fear, thinking if they slip up they'll get locked up in here. You're killing yourself just to make ends meet, while I'm working on my tan and kicking up my feet. You can't be living in prison, there's always something to do. And you know who's paying? Everyone but you. Every day I wake up to a nice hot shower. Don't pay the water bill, so I'm scrubbing for hours. Shoot some hoops and the weights in the yard. Maybe blow off some steam, shield the rookie guard. And there's nothing more exquisite than when I get my 14-minute conjugal visit. Come on and meet the gang. There's Jimmy the Pickle and Shithole Hank. He makes the best hooch wine in his toilet tank. There's Bam Bam and Tiny and Sparkles McGee, and every single one of us scumbags agree. I don't wanna be free, leave me in luxury. Why try a prison break when hard times totally great? I got a track pedigree, but in here I'm bourgeoisie. I never think about the world beyond the night the car that killed my mom. No, I don't wanna be free, not the life for me. No, I don't wanna be free of these amenities. If I tried to live this good out there, I'd have to be 1,000. This is where I wanna go, so I'm just praying I don't make parole, 'cause I don't wanna be free. I did that in one take. Ugh, my throat. Yay! And now I've got two more, I think. All right. These are both rap songs. These are both rap songs. Oh, wait. Yeah.
Ain't nobody dance no more. See the paint up on my pants. I tore now. Why mount up? And I better see you looking in the corner, you whore. I'm in your brain, I'm in your head, and I'm a lord of we poor. I can't afford to be bored. And when I'm riding with the gang, we're on the board of be war. And when I'm yelling, I'll be feeling what I'm born to be for. And I'll be smelling all the elements. There's gonna be war. And I'll be ready. Standing up the wall that they build now. Knock you down to 5, the whole field count. I can't fall. Never go to sleep with niggas sucking on my dick. You better get about it. Psych club, nigga, don't talk about it. Walk about it. Fucking with the spider, nigga. Pick a daisy, kick a bucket. Say right like the blood in my eye. White, don't talk right. You might cause a knife fight. Mama told a nigga better go hard. Think a jerky doing good so far. I'm gonna kill like forever. That's longevity. You can eat your fill up whatever. I got everything. Make my image into something you remember when I'm fucking with my niggas. We burn the same. Remember when I cut, I become the simmer through November. Niggas push your buttons, they touch on the nigga temper. I got my fair share of problems. I got my fair share of problems. Any nigga wanna solve them? You see a lick, then you rob them. I see a lick, then I stop on the block and I pop them.
really like that one. The flow is so nice on that song. And then one more. And then one more.
I decided to hold a very special martial arts tournament. You're mad, Riddler. And it shall be called Cell Games.
He look at me like he got Sharingan. I'ma pull back, yeah, charge that Hadouken. Meet me in the backyard, I don't play games, yeah. It's a tournament, art called the Cell Games. Woo! Come ha, I got some big balls. Charge my spirit bomb, turning your bitch on like a light switch. Water in the ditch, I don't wanna hitch. Leave that shit to Will Smith, I do not miss. I'm a fucking metabot with the caboodle metal. You don't wanna fight, yeah, you just wanna settle. Copper mask made of metal, call me daddy, I call his uncle the devil. It's that metal trap militia. Yo, bitch named Patricia. I don't mean to diss ya. But my bitch named Medusa. She just wanna kiss ya. She like when I diss ya. We both gonna miss ya.
Watch out, bitch, I kill these fools like cucaracha, papasta. Bitch, I'm smoking ganja like it's not a fasta. When I pull the trigger, I'm like Sonic. Bitch, I'm a Godino isotonic. And now the bullet in your body. I can hear you scream, but I ain't sorry. Shorty going crazy, she on Molly. Jaw locked, looking like a zombie. It's the Technina, drug dealer, young hitter, young killer, fast trigger. Yeah, I'm mad Riddler. Central's to the block. Central's on the block, no Glock. It's a tag hoe.
Yeah, 1v1, hope you're ready for a fist fight. Hit you with the quick scope, jab him with the left, right. Take a step back, and I'm screaming about to take flight. Holding all aggression, eyes wide, taking out your lights, night, night. See the sun, it went bye-bye. I'm the one, think about it. Get some insight, blast on these fuckers, they won't last through the ruckus. I'ma smash through these suckers, final flash. Yuck and cover like the king of all sayings. Goddamn, I'm the man. If you got a hot bitch, I'm a flipper in a pen. No G to a PG. Yeah, I'm just being me. Get the red dimmy, you can call me Android 13. Hello Zuckerberg, I think I need a thumbs up. If not, then I'll probably hit your ass with a nunchuck. Pull up to the party and your girl is looking starstruck, thinking that I'm trash, but my girl has a dump truck. How'd I make it this far? I guess that it was dumb luck. Training in this bitch, and I think I need me 6 sluts. If you acting salty, then my shawty got some back slugs. If your girl looking Asian, come get me a back rub. I just wanna sell games, now I'm leveled up. Yeah, she give me a sad face, but she wanna fuck. I just had a bad day, now I'm having luck. Found for roaches in my ashtray, now I got a blunt. I take shots but I need no vest. Why they wanna talk, why they sending me threats? Now I'm on top, yeah, I'm up next. I'm getting that guap but I need no friends. Bitches be cops so they all pretend. I will not search till I'm finally dead. Getting that money, don't fuck with the fakes. Shit isn't funny, so stay out the way. I got a honey, I fuck on her face. She a snow bunny, she give me that cake. Run up and stay out the way. Run up on us and you catch her in the fade. Big mistake when I trust no lens. We won the game and we don't even play. Yeah, hey, we ain't the same. You know the name and we know that we paid. Hey, coming up quick in person to silence all of the serpents. Yeah, out inside closed curtains, just wait until I can surface. Yeah, beauty in all the verse and the words and the way I curve them. Yeah, usually find the worst of me bursting free on the verses. Yeah, we drove to Pennsylvania with like 40 sheets of acid, probably 30 fucking grand of random drugs inside the bag, and would've went away for good if they had found all that we packed. And was a creature of the mud, just needs some blood inside a napkin. I was sniffing fucking dope on my car on the road, where I had no fucking morals. I was basically a ghost. I was honestly alone, dependent on popping mo, demented inside my soul, just headed for somewhere wrong. No goals, just a bag of fucking dope. Up it goes, bitch, I go slow-mo. Bloody nose, bitch, I got a bloody nose. Lamb's blood on my fits, I'm American.
That one took me a while. That one took me a while. Ugh. Hooray! There we go. All right, music over. Music time over. Don't spam. Don't spam, please. Gangsters before GTA 6. All right. What do you mean never show this man? I know, Sir Mix-a-Lot. You better drop to your knees and bark like you want it. Bark like you want it. I can sing like any genre of song, really. There was one more. I'll play it for y'all. But I think it's kind of mid.
Gather round, sinners! There's plenty of room for you here at the Has-Been Hotel. Just please leave your jacket, shoes, and soles at the door!
What do you do when everything you love is kinda fucked up? You seek redemption, baby, please, you're not alright, you're blood drunk. He's the devil that you always wanted, and he's right on your shoulder. Leave the past behind you, cause it's over, and we're not getting older. I built my home in hell, it's just the place that I know well. My heart will never beat the same, I know I can't be saved. I'm underneath your spell, in every tale that I could tell. All of the pages read the same, I know I can't be saved.
Now that's the spirit! You're in hell, you delinquent fuck! You can try all you want, but you're destined to burn! Burn! Burn!
It's funny, sometimes I see light from up above, and I think it could be better down here for us if we weren't afraid to hug.
Fuck that!
It's time you gave up all of your soul. No way, I won't give up. They say that two halves can't be whole. Just go away, I've had enough. I built my home in hell, it's just the place that I know well. My heart will never beat the same, I know I can't be saved. I'm underneath your spell, in every tale that I could tell. All of the pages read the same, I know I can't be saved.
Such a good song, though. It's just I couldn't get my voice to sound how I wanted it to, and it was like, bleh. Bleh. Also, what did Beanie say? The Eminem thing? Yeah, I've been like somewhat practicing the little rap god snippet. I can like almost do it without messing up. Yeah. Yeah, I got you. All right. Sama lama dama lama, you assuming I'm a human, what I gotta do to get it through to you? I'm superhuman, innovative, animator, robot, so that anything it says ricocheting off of me and it'll glue to you. I'm devastated more than ever, demonstrating how to get of a motherfucking audience. I'm feeling like I'm levitated more than ever fading. Oh, fuck. Never fading, and I know the haters are forever waiting for the day that they can say, fella, they'll be celebrating, cause I know the way to give them cause I know the way to get them motivated. I make elevating music, you make elevator music. Goodness gracious. Such like a tongue twister sometimes. Like that last 4 sentences. Ugh. Are there any other little things I did recently? No. Huh. Can I do Godzilla? I'd have to learn it. Like after I learn a song, I can sing just about anything. No, I didn't memorize it. I did memorize it. Like I can do it with my eyes closed. Almost. Like I kind of start forgetting towards the end. But like all the way up to give a motherfucking audience a feeling like it's levitating, I can do that part by memory. Has-Been Hotel songs? No. No. Maybe like karaoke stream tomorrow or something. Or something, I don't know. Maybe another singing stream soon, who knows. Let me grab a drink real quick. Oh yeah. Which one of you said that country music doesn't seem very zen? Which one of you said country music doesn't sound like zen? Shadow? What's a good country song? No, if I was warmed up for losing streak, I wouldn't mind. It's just, ugh. I don't think I'd be able to do it right now unless I completely disregarded my. Baby, lock them doors. I vaguely know that one. Let me look up the lyrics real quick. I vaguely know that song. Yeah. I can do like the first two. I don't know. I stream whenever. I don't plan my streams. Yeah, I'm gonna prove you wrong. Yeah, you knew it. Anyways, all right. Baby, lock the door and turn the lights down low. Put some music on that's soft and slow. Baby, we ain't got no place to go. I hope you understand. I've been thinking about this all day long. Never felt a feeling quite this strong. I can't believe how much it turns me on just to be your man. And I don't really know the rest of the song, but it's me, Mr. Southern guy. I stream when I stream. I can't just give. I can't just what is it? I can't just like not stream because one person would be missing it. Yeah. Save a horse, ride a cowboy.
You're missing the rasp at the end of syllables.
I'm not even chewing. I can just make sounds. Like, I can just make sounds. Are you Zan enough? What does this even mean? Blah. Blah. Stuck in dog blanks. All right. Back to the topic at hand. All right. Enough of that. Window. A window viper. A window viper. A window viper. A window wiper. Huh? A window wiper. All right. It's time to learn Blender.
Modeling in Blender series. In this series, we're gonna make my character you see right here, Love Chan, completely from scratch.
'Cause I wanna learn
using
Blender.
low poly modeling and texturing techniques. Low poly modeling is a fantastic way to get into 3D modeling and Blender, and my hope is that more experienced users will also have plenty to learn from when we start talking about UV unwrapping, texturing, and rigging later on. Because not only is Blender completely free to use, this series is going to be totally free, and we're not going to be using any paid add-ons to accomplish our modeling.
Yes, okay. Now that we're here, I can finally change the stream title to Learning Blender. Ultimate settings from YouTube! Shut up, me. There we go.
Or texturing tasks whatsoever. This series is designed for more intermediate users of Blender. However, if you're brand new to Blender, you do not know the hotkeys or how the 3D viewport works or anything like that, do not worry. I actually have a playlist on this channel for people who are just starting out and learning Blender, and I will link that below as well. So definitely check that out.
So I've got to watch a tutorial before the tutorial? Where is it?
In this video, we're going to cover navigation in Blender. If you're opening Blender for the first time, you might actually see a quick setup window that'll look some...
Let me go grab my notepad, actually. I'll take notes. I'll take notes for once. I'll be a good student. Give me a moment. Where is my notepad?
Back where I'm from, we call them potato jammy.
Where the fuck are you from? Where's my notebook? In my backpack. Where's my backpack? There's my backpack. Here. Where did I put my notebook? Hold on, guys. I'll be back. Where? There it is. I found it. Oh my goodness. Now, where are my pencils? Where did I? Big old bag of pencils. I know I put them somewhere. Baby, I love you. Mwah, 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 mwah. Let me try to find my pencil. Or a pencil or something. Let me tear out this page and never see from this again. Old commission. Old lineup of commissions, but I'm almost certain I don't talk to any of those people anymore, so. Where are my pencils? Are we for realisms? Who's donating while I'm not even at my desk? Alex the Greatest for the 5. Money for pencils. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Alex. Now where's my... But thank you for... Thank you for reading. I don't know where any of my pencils are. I have a bag. I just need one pencil. I'm just looking for my pencils. I just don't. I can't recall. No, like, actually, I just need one pencil. And I don't know where I put any. Come on, please. Is there a pencil in here? Yes. I hope this has lead in it. Yes. 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 Yay! 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 All right. I found one. Oh my god. I gotta tell y'all. Quick story. Whenever I was out yesterday with my mom and sis, we went over to we'll just say we're visiting friends of family or whatever, right? And we get into the kitchen and I was like, are there snacks? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, sweet. And then someone said, but none of them are for you. And I go, sweet. It's like, you can't have any. Sweet. And then I turned around and my sister was just fucking laughing. It's so stupid. I love that video. That video is so fucking stupid. Sweet. Sweet. All right.
In this video, we're going to cover navigation in Blender.
Navigation in Blender.
If you're opening Blender for the first time, you might actually see a quick setup window that'll look something like this. Don't worry if your image isn't exactly the same as the one you see here. The default settings are perfectly okay.
I'll give it like a week or two, and I'll make the fucking the donation. Sweet.
And you can always change these later, so just feel free to click out of that. Once you do, you will be greeted by the main window of Blender, which is
What did they say?
Once you do, perfectly okay, and you can always
Default
change
settings.
these later, so
Okay.
just feel free to click out of that. Once you do, you will be greeted by the main
Whoa,
window.
whoa, Mariah Oseguera, I'ma say, my king. Oh my god, thank you for the 10. Thank you.
Of Blender, which is the 3D viewport. This is the window right here where you're going to be spending 90% of your time in Blender. So knowing its most crucial functions, as we're about to cover here, is really important. The 3D viewport is where your 3D scene is displayed and where all objects in your scene are located. In order to select different objects in our scene, we can just press left click on them to make them our active selection. So if we press left click on our camera here, it will turn orange and become our active selection. To deselect in the 3D viewport, simply left click any negative space. To select everything in your scene, you can press A, or to deselect everything,
There's so many donations. Alex the Greatest for the 2. Sweet. Sweet.
in your scene, you can press Alt-A. So A to select all, Alt-A to deselect all. But now let's cover the fun part, which is actually navigating our 3D scene. That means panning and rotating around our 3D viewport. There are two ways of doing this. The first is at the top right of our screen here on this 3D gizmo. If you hold left click on the 3D gizmo, you will orbit around our cube in our scene here. You can also click on any of these axes to snap down this 3D. There are two ways of doing this. The first is at the top right of our screen here on our cube in our scene here. You can also click on any of these axes to snap to its respective view in an orthographic view. By left clicking on the x-axis here, I have snapped my view to the right orthographic view, as I can tell by looking at the top left of my viewport. If I left click on the Y in the 3D gizmo, I will snap to the back orthographic view. If I left click on the Z, I will snap to the top orthographic view. An orthographic view in 3D is simply a view with no perspective information in it whatsoever. It's a completely flat and shallow version of the 3D space you're looking at. To exit the orthographic view, all you need to do is hold middle mouse button to orbit around our cube once again. Middle mouse.
Middle mouse.
Button is the way I normally rotate around objects in Blender, just because it's so fast. If you hold left mouse button on this little hand icon, you will move your camera around the 3D space. If you hold shift plus middle mouse button, you move your camera around the 3D space. Hold left mouse button on this little hand icon, you will move your camera around the 3D space. If you hold shift plus middle mouse button, you will do the exact same thing.
Okay. Sweet.
Which is what I normally press. So holding Shift plus middle mouse button moves your view, and just holding middle mouse button orbits your view. If you want to look at another object in 3D space, you're going to want to change your orbit center point. To do that, simply change your active selection by clicking on an object, then go to View, Frame Selected. Now, if we orbit by holding middle mouse button, we'll be orbiting around our camera in our scene here. We're a little close to our camera, so we can actually zoom out by using the scroll wheel on our mouse like so. And you can do the exact same thing by holding left click on this little magnifying glass icon at the top right of the 3D viewport. I'm going to make the cube our active selection once again by holding middle mouse to orbit it into our view, pressing left click, and then going to View, Frame Selected. Then I will zoom out once again by using the scroll wheel.
Okay. Whoa! Mariah Osaguera for the 20. Meow. Like, Mow. Thank you for the 20. Oh. Well, thank you. Sweet! Sweet!
The final two.
Where's my widgets? Where's my widget? I'll change the sounds eventually. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Oh wait, hold on.
Selected. Then I will zoom out once again by using the scroll wheel. The final two icons in our 3D viewport here are this little camera icon and this perspective icon, all of which have hotkeys associated with them. The camera icon lets us icon.
I was
Final two
writing.
icons in our 3D viewport here are this little camera icon and this perspective icon, all of which have hotkeys associated with them. The icon and using the scroll wheel.
My brain.
The final two icons in our 3D viewport here are this little camera icon and this perspective icon, all of which have hotkeys associated with them. The camera icon lets us snap to the view of our currently active camera object in our scene.
Goodness gracious. Mariah Osaguera. Am I saying that name right? Also, I haven't been corrected, but I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. But thank you for the 10. Sweet! Sweet! Thank you for the 10. Sweet!
So if I click on this, you'll see that we are now seeing our 3D scene through the lens of our camera object. To exit this view,
Whoa. No. All right, hold on. Ooh. Let's, Okay. Interesting.
You can just hold middle mouse button, or you can press the shortcut for this, which is numpad 0, like so. So I'm gonna exit our camera view and
Like, I wouldn't say I'm a family-friendly streamer / content creator, guy, man, person, dude, but I'd rather not people be telling me that they're gooning at all. Or anything of that sort. Like, I'll curse and whatever and all the things, but like, stop that.
press the shortcut for this final button, which is the perspective / orthographic toggle. So if I press 5 on my numpad here, which is the shortcut for it, and use middle mouse button to orbit around a little bit here, you'll see that all the perspective in our scene is disappearing every time I toggle this. All the lines become perpendicular and everything starts to look very shallow and flat, which is very useful for certain 3D modeling tasks. I'm going to exit this view by pressing numpad 5, and that about covers it for this video. In the next video, we're going to cover the Blender interface, which is equally as important, so be sure to stick around.
All right, next video. Goodness. Mariah Osaguera for the 5. Stay strong, king. Sweet!
Let's cover all the most important aspects of the Blender interface for learning 3D animation.
Also, I can't help but fucking imagine the fucking... This. Every time. This is what I'm imagining. Sweet! This right here. Sweet! Oh, goodness. I was a little far behind.
Understanding these will be crucial for learning Blender and making 3D animations going forward. So let's jump into it.
Do you want me to go tell my sister, like, right now? I'll tell her later.
First, let's talk about panels. The Blender interface consists of a series of panels. You could scale any of these panels at any point by clicking and dragging the boundary of a panel with the left mouse button, like so. You can create more panels by right-clicking the edge or boundary of a panel and pressing either vertical split or horizontal split. Vertical split will split your panels vertically, like so, and if we right-click on this again and do a horizontal split, and then press left mouse, you will see that it will create horizontal panels like so. Of course, we kind of just made a mess, so how do we fix this? Well, all you have to do is right-click on this panel here, and click Join Areas. Then, as your mouse is hovering over this panel, you can left-click it to delete it. I'll right-click on this boundary and press Join Areas and left-click on this 3D viewport to delete it as well. To change what's in a panel, all you need to do is left-click this little drop-down menu that's at the top left of every panel. So you can see it here, you can see it here, and you can see it here, as well as here on the timeline. For example, I can click on my 3D viewport and change it to the UV editor here, and now we can see that our 3D viewport is now the UV editor. I'll left click this drop down and click the 3D viewport once again. And if you ever want to full screen a panel in Blender, all you need to do is press Ctrl plus space
What does this do again?
And if you ever want to full screen a panel in Blender, all you need to do is press Control plus space on your keyboard, which will full screen that panel.
Full screen panel. All right. What? What? No. Sweet. When I'm finished streaming, can I send this playlist on the Discord? Yeah, for certain.
Well, now you can see that our 3D viewport is now full screen. To edit this preview, you can press Control plus space again, or you can press this little back to previous button at the top left of your UI. Or to edit this preview, you can press Control plus space again, or you can press this little back to previous button at the top left of your UI. And this applies to every panel in Blender. So if I mouse over my outliner here and press Control plus space, you'll see that the outliner is now full screen. And we can return to previous by pressing Control plus space again.
That's
Blender
good to
also
know.
has a series of default workspaces for various 3D workflows at the top of our screen here, as you can see. For our purposes here, we're going to mainly be sticking to the layout, animation, and shading workspaces. So I'll go back to the layout workspace here, which is the default. And just so you know, if you ever mess up your Blender UI just beyond repair, it's a total mess and you don't know how to fix it, all you need to do is press this little plus icon, then go to General, Layout. That will reset your Blender interface back to the default. There are two quick menus in our 3D viewport as well. By pressing T, we can show and hide the Quick Tools menu. This is where our selection mode, 3D cursor, translation, rotation, and scale options live, plus a few more. You can also press Shift plus space to access this menu at your cursor at any time, which is helpful. So I'll press Shift plus space and go back to the selection box tool. You can also press N or click the plus space to access this menu at your cursor at any time, which is helpful. So I'll press Shift plus space and go back to the selection box tool. You can also press N or click the little arrow at the top right of the 3D viewport here to access additional quick settings. These are related to the transform data of your selected object, the tool settings of your current tool, and the view transfer of the 3D viewport. You can also press N or click the little arrow at the top right of the 3D viewport here to access additional quick settings. These are related to the transform data of your selected object, the tool settings of your current tool, and the view settings of your viewport camera. And as you can see, you can show and hide it by pressing N. Now let's quickly cover something that's very important to understanding Blender, which is the 3D cursor. This little red and white circle you see here acts as a spawning point for new objects in your 3D scene, a reference point for pivoting, and more. To place it around your scene, all you need to do is hold Shift and right click, like so. And to reset your 3D cursor, all you need to do is press and
Why do I keep pausing it? Because I'm writing down.
Hold Shift plus S, then click.
Oh.
To place it around your scene, all you need to do is hold Shift and right click, like so. And to reset your 3D cursor, all you need to do is press and hold Shift plus S, then click Cursor to World Origin. That will reset your 3D cursor.
Oh goodness, what was that? Oh my god. Oh.
Back to the default location. You can also adjust the 3D cursor's location and rotation values in the right-hand menu here of the 3D viewport by clicking the View tab, then going to 3D cursor and holding left-click on any of these values. I'm going to press left-click and reset this back to 0. I'm going to hide this menu by pressing N. Now, let's talk about something that may be overwhelming at first, but is actually very simple. The Properties Editor. And I'm definitely not re-recording this section because my webcam was covering this part of the UI. This panel is at the bottom right of your layout by default, as you can see here. This editor contains several important tabs that are represented by different icons that change how your scene is displayed, the properties of your selected object, the settings of your current tool, and more. And hovering over any of the property editor tabs shows you what it's named. For our purposes here, we're really only going to cover the most important tabs for 3D animation because
Mariah Osaguera for the 2. Sweet! Y'all are ridiculous.
luckily, as animators, we really only care about a select few of these tabs. The first tab here is the Active Tool and Workspace settings, which lets us change the settings of our currently selected tool in the 3D viewport. For example, if I click on most of our here is as animators, we really only care about a select few of these tabs. The first tab here is the Active Tool and Workspace settings, which lets us change the settings of our currently selected tool in the 3D viewport. For example, if I click on the cursor tool here, we now have a new set of options available to us. If I click on the transform tool, we have a new set of options, etc., etc. I'm going to press Shift plus space and then go back to the select box tool. The next set of tabs, which are separated from our current tab by a very small gap, are our scene-specific properties. The first one is this camera icon, which is the Renders Properties tab. This is where you change render engines, sampling settings, and engine-specific properties and other options that change how your final image is rendered from your 3D scene. The next icon looks like a printer, and that is because it is our Output tab. This is where you can change resolution, frame rate, and where the files you're rendering are being output on your computer. The next tab we care about is the one with a globe icon, because that is our World Properties tab. This is where you can change the properties of the sky or background of your scene in 3D. If we go to the top right of our viewport here and change the material preview mode to rendered, we can actually preview what this does. So I'm going to left click on this color property right here, which will give us access to a color wheel, which I'll make a little bit brighter. And as you can see, the background of our scene is changing. If we hold left click in any of these parts of the color wheel, we can change the color of our world. You can also change the strength here, like so. I'm going to go back to the solid preview mode by clicking on this second little icon at the top right of our viewport. And you'll notice that once again, there's a small section between our tabs here, and that's because the remainder of our tabs are object specific, meaning that they change depending on what object you currently have selected. I'm going to make sure I have the cube selected and go to this orange tab here, which is the Object Properties tab. Here, you can change object properties like scale, rotation, and location, as well as object visibility properties. So if I hold left click on this, you'll see that we can change the location of our cube, the rotation of our cube, as well as the scale of our cube. And to reset any of these values to default, I will just mouse over them and press backspace. So if you want to reset a value to default in Blender, just mouse over it and press backspace like so. If we go to visibility here, there's a really useful one I like at the bottom called holdout. And if we click on that, absolutely nothing happens, seemingly. But that's just because we are in the solid mode for viewport shading. If we go to the rendered view, you can see that holdout makes our cube look gray. What this actually does though, is it makes the object you have selected render as transparent pixels in your final render, which is awesome and really, really useful for compositing. We'll touch on that in a later video though. So I'm gonna toggle this off and go back to our solid preview. The next tab has this blue wrench icon, which is called the modifiers tab. This is where predefined modifiers that manipulate the objects in your scene live. All you need to do is click add modifier here. And for example, I will do a subdivision surface modifier, and I'll click add modifier again and do a solidify modifier. What makes modifiers in Blender so powerful is that they're completely non-destructive, which basically just means that you can always turn them off or delete them and have your object go back to its original state. You can toggle previewing of these.
I blanked out, hold on.
I will do in your scene modifiers tab. This is where predefined modifiers that manipulate the objects in your scene live. All you need to do is click add modifier here. And for example, I will do a subdivision surface modifier, and I'll click add modifier again and do a solidify modifier. What makes modifiers in Blender so powerful is that they're completely non-destructive, which basically just means that you can always turn them off or delete them and have your object go back to its original state. You can toggle previewing of these modifiers in your 3D viewport by clicking this little monitor icon, and you can drag around the order of your modifiers by holding left click on this section right here and moving them around like so. I'm gonna get rid of both of these modifiers by pressing this little X icon. The next tab we care about is the one that looks like a blue bike chain right here. This is the Object Constraint Properties tab. This is used to control object properties like its location, rotation, and scale using its own values or the values of another object, which is referred to as the target object. So if we click on Add Object Constraint and see these constraints that are labeled copy, that's what they're doing. They're copying the values of another object. This is occasionally used for camera animation and for other object animation purposes. This green... The next tab is also really important. It kind of looks like a flux capacitor, and it's called the Object Data Properties tab. This is where you change object mesh data, shape keys, vertex group, aka weights, UV maps, as well as geometry specific settings. Your object's mesh data is exactly what it sounds like. It's the 3D object data that makes up your mesh. For example, the object data of a cube is different than the object data of a sphere. And you don't have to follow along with this, but I will spawn in a sphere. I'll move it to the right.
Where did he pull that sphere from? Mario Seguera for the 2. Sweet! What is that? Swillililili? Swillilililili? Swillilililili? Sweet. What are y'all even doing? Why are there 28 people here?
It's the 3D object data that makes up your mesh. For example, the object data of a cube is different than the object data of a sphere. And you don't have to follow along with this, but I will spawn in a sphere. I'll move it to the right. And if I left click on my cube again and go to the object data tab here, you can see that we can actually click on sphere and our cube now looks like a sphere. I will undo that, left click on our sphere and delete it by pressing the delete button, and left click on our cube once more. Next up, we have shape keys, which are used to deform objects into new shapes for animation. They're also referred to as blend shapes or morph targets. You can make a new shape key by pressing the plus button next to this shape key section. And I'm actually going to create 2 new shape keys here because the first shape key essentially will act as my basis that all other shape keys will refer back to. So let's press the plus button here and change the value from 0 to 1 by holding left click right here. You don't have to follow along with this, but I'm going to go to edit mode by pressing tab, left click on a vertice, press G to move it, press left click to confirm that move, then go back into object mode by pressing tab. Now something interesting will happen. If I change the value of this from 0 to 1, you can see that the change we just made to the model is an animatable property. This right here is typically how character rigs are animated in Blender. A modeler will take the face of a character model and they'll make a series of shape keys for different mouth shapes, eye shapes, eyebrow positions, and tie those shape keys into a character rig using drivers. We'll talk about those in a future video though. And finally, last but certainly not least, we have our material tab, which looks like this checkered red sphere we have here. Again, we're not going to see these changes update unless we go back to the rendered view. This is where you control many object settings related to how your object is shaded during a render. This is where you can change object color, roughness, glossiness, transparency, and more. So if I left click on the base color here, you will see that our cube can be any color we want. And if I scroll down here, you'll see even more options we have. For example, if I set metallic to 1, our cube becomes metallic, but I'll reset the color back to gray. The last panel I want to quickly cover in this video is the outliner, which is the one that's been staring us in the face at the top right of our screen this whole time. This is where all objects in our scene are located. You can specify which objects are visible here by clicking this little icon next to them, and you can create new collections here. You can think of a collection as a folder, which you can use to organize objects in your 3D scene with. I'll click this new collection icon to create a new folder like this, and I'll rename it by double-clicking on it and calling it tutorial. If you want to change the color of a collection, you can just right-click on it. For example, I'll do pink for this collection. I'll right-click on this collection, make this blue. And you can hide the contents of a collection by left-clicking this little arrow icon. And you can put new objects in the collection by holding left-click and clicking and dragging them over a collection and releasing. Now if I hide this, you can see that our tutorial collection is now in this collection. To drag it out, all you have to do is hold left click and drag it over the main scene collection right here. That about covers it though. In the next video, we're going to cover transforms, which is how all animation in Blender is accomplished. So I'll see you there. Congratulations on finishing.
Next video. Good God. Sweet. Y'all are ridiculous.
In this video, we're going to talk about transforms in Blender. Transforms are used to modify the position, rotation, and scale of characters and objects in Blender. And this is essentially how all character animation and object animation in Blender is accomplished. Mastering transforms is crucial for all types of Blender animation, so let's jump into it. In Blender, there are 3 types of transforms: translation, rotation, and scale. Translation in Blender is simply done by pressing the G key when you have an actively selected object.
Ooh.
In Blender is simply done by pressing the G key when you have an actively selected object. So as you can see here, I just pressed the G key with my cube selected, and just by moving my mouse around, my cube is moving around in space. To confirm this movement, all I need to do is press the left mouse button on my mouse. Now you can see that it has stopped moving and we have confirmed this position of the cube. To undo that change, all I needed to press is Ctrl+Z on my keyboard. And again, all I need to do to move an object is press G, then move it using my mouse, and then press left click to confirm. If I press G and then right click, it actually cancels that movement. So G plus right click cancels a movement, and G plus left click confirms a movement. I'm going to press Control plus Z to undo those changes. To rotate an object in Blender, this one's really easy to remember. You just press R on your keyboard. Now, if you move your mouse around, you can see that your object will start rotating in space like so. And again, to confirm that placement, you just press left mouse button. And if you press right mouse button after you press R, it will cancel that. So I'm going to press Control plus Z to undo that once again. To scale an object in Blender, you just press S on your keyboard, then move your mouse. And once again, to confirm a scale, all you need to do is press left mouse button. I'm going to undo that by pressing Control plus Z. You can also do more precision movements in Blender. For example, if I press G, then press X, then move my mouse, you will see that we are just moving our cube along the X axis. And if I press Z to cancel that move, Y, you'll see that if we move our mouse now, it will only rotate our cube along the Y axis degrees. Then press Enter, in 35 on your keyboard, you just type 35, then press Enter to confirm that placement. I'm going to undo that by pressing Control plus V. The same works for scale. If I press S on my keyboard, then type in 5, it will enlarge our cube exactly 5. Undo that change in this case though. You can also place what are called keyframes for these transforms in Blender using the I key. You can.
To be fair, I am mostly locked in on this, but I'm glancing over to the side. But it's all sweet. My notes, it's just hotkeys. Left click is select, A is select everything, Alt A is deselect everything, middle mouse rotate around objects, Shift plus middle mouse moves view. View to frame selected, you can change the center point of your camera. Number pad 0 is enter and exit camera view. Control plus space, full screen panel. T is show and hide toolbar. Shift plus space is toolbar at cursor. N is the additional quick settings. Shift plus right click moves 3D cursor. Shift plus S and clicking cursor world origin moves the 3D cursor back to where it was. G is moving selected object. R is rotate. S is scale. And they have all of the, at the bottom of the screen, after you click something, it shows you, like, what else you can do. So that's why I was skipping past the other part. Because, like, I don't really need to write it down if it's on the screen for me to see.
Remember that as insert. So if you want to insert a keyframe, you can press I. What's a keyframe though? A keyframe is basically a marker of time that stores the value of a property and defines the starting and ending point of a transition of one of our previously mentioned transforms, that being translation, rotation, and scale. That sounds pretty complicated, I know, but trust me, this is actually pretty simple. To show you what I mean, I'm going to add another object to our scene and actually delete our cube. So I'm going to press X on my keyboard here, and this little dialog box will pop up, and I'll just press left click to delete our cube. To add new objects in Blender, you need to open the Add dialog, which is done using Shift plus A. This is where you add meshes. which is done using Shift New dialog box will delete our cube. Pretty simple. And I'll just press left click to delete our cube. To add new objects in Blender, you need to open the Add dialog, which is done using Shift plus A. This is where you add mesh.
What are y'all talking about?
Lights, new cameras, and more to your scene. In this case, I'm just going to go to the mesh dropdown for this menu. Then I'm going to hover on down to cylinder. And then I'll press left click to spawn in a cylinder. In order to make a keyframe on this mesh dropdown for this menu, then I'm going to hover on down to cylinder.
I love you too, baby.
Then I'll press left click to spawn in a cylinder. In order to make a keyframe on this cylinder, I will press the insert keyframe button, which is I. This opens the insert keyframe menu, and in this case, for the animation, I will press the insert keyframe button, which is I. This opens the insert keyframe menu, and in this case, for the animation I'm about to make, I actually want to key location, rotation, and scale. So I'll click on this option right here to insert a location, rotation, and scale keyframe. And as you can see, if we make this a little bit bigger, this little timeline panel we have at the bottom of our window here, you will see this little orange dot. That is the keyframe for this cylinder that we just placed. And it placed it on frame 1 because that's where our playhead and currently active frame is. So for example, if we went to frame 120 here, and then we pressed I, then clicked on location, rotation, and scale, again, you will see that there is another keyframe at frame 120 right here. And you can see your current frame by going to this little box right here, which is the current frame value on our timeline. Now I'm going to rotate our object, translate our object, and scale our object. To do that, I am just going to move our camera a little bit, and press G, move my mouse, then press left click to move our object. I'm going to press R, move my mouse a bit just in circles like this. Then I'm going to press left click to rotate our object. Then I'm going to press S, move my mouse like so. Just it's a little janky here, but just kind of down like that. Then I'm press left click to confirm that. However, it's really important that I press I, then go to location, rotation, and scale, and click that to confirm all the changes I just made. One of the biggest mistakes beginner animators make is forgetting to do that and then losing a bunch of progress, and it can be really frustrating. There is something you can do to resolve that problem though, and that's with this button right here. This is called auto keying, and personally when I animate, I always have this on. What this does is automatically create keyframes whenever you make a change to any object's location, rotation, or scale. What that basically means is that if I click this button on, then I go to frame, let's say 190 here. Then if I press G to move our object, R to rotate our object, and S to scale our object, I do not need to go press I to insert the location, rotation, and scale for those changes. It is done for me automatically because I enabled that option. So I'm just gonna mouse out of this menu and watch back our beautiful animation. So to do that, we're gonna wanna go back to the first frame in our timeline here. And that's done with this little jump to endpoint button at the top of our timeline window here.
I am understanding this. I am understanding this really well because I edit in CapCut and I use keyframes and all that stuff. So all of this is making sense. I just need, I'm still going to finish watching the tutorials and everything. I would just need to get my hands on like a model or two or something. See what I could work with.
I'm gonna click on that, and to play back our animation, all you need to do is either press spacebar or click this little play animation button on our timeline. So I'm gonna click that using left click. And as you can see, our beautiful animation is now playing back before us. I'm gonna just press left click on this or just spacebar again to pause the animation. And that's it. That is how you animate everything in Blender. This might be a simple cylinder, but this is also exactly how you animate characters in Blender. All you're doing is adjusting the position, rotation, and scale of objects, then keyframing them in time using a timeline. This is how all animation is done. And now that we've covered all the basics, in the next video, we're going to finally begin our deep dive into animation in Blender specifically. And I'm really excited to do that. So make sure you're subscribed and check out my Patreon if you want access to an exclusive Discord community and a whole lot more. Thanks for watching. Congratulations on finishing.
Like professionally, or? I can see what you bought, but such big snacks. Sweet. All right. All right.
Blender is an extremely powerful program. You could make just about any character or animation you can possibly dream of using its expansive toolset. But when you're just starting out, it feels like the software is fighting against you. We've all been there. Maybe your rig won't bind to your character, geometry will disappear, textures look glitchy, and you've wasted hours of time that you could have spent learning and creating new stuff. That's why I've designed this video to be the ultimate guide.
I need to get a snack. Give me a second. I'm also gonna go, like, I can't say harass casually because people will think I'm being serious, but I'm gonna go mess with my sister. I'll be back. I'm gonna go grab a snack, go mess with my sister, make sure everyone's okay, and then I'll be back. Sweet! She was asleep. Up. Where am I being pinged? Okay. There we go.
New Blender users that you can revisit over and over again throughout your Blender journey. Even intermediate Blender artists are going to pick up some really useful stuff in this video. And that's because after teaching Blender for a few years now, I've noticed a pattern. And that pattern is that 80% of the time, your Blender problem can be solved using one of the 10 things that we're about to discuss in this video. Knowing how to solve these issues will save you hours upon hours of time so that you can focus on the fun part, making cool new stuff. Plus, this video has an accompanying PDF guide with tons of quick fixes that we're about to talk about in this video, along with example images and so much more. You can download this guide to your smartphone, tablet, or computer and use it to solve most of the common Blender problems that arise. And the best part about this guide is that it made it super affordable. It costs nothing. This guide is 100% free, so make sure to download it today using that link in the description box below this video. But without further ado, let's jump right into it. Before we get into the most common Blender issues and how to fix them in just seconds, make sure to stick around to the end of this video because I asked many of the highly experienced Blender artists in my Discord server what advice they'd give themselves when they first started learning Blender, and I was just blown away by how much their advice could help new Blender creators save time. But before that, let's jump right into number one, which is one of the most common Blender issues of all time. Do you have weird artifacts, models not binding to your rig, or messy shading? You might have duplicate vertices or overlapping faces. This is an extremely common problem because it's extremely easy to have this by mistake, and faces stacked on top of each other often cause Z-fighting, which is the flickering / shimmering look you see here. Duplicate vertices can cause issues when modeling, rigging your characters, using your modifiers, and in a lot of other situations. To fix this problem with all your objects selected, go into edit mode, then press A to select all. Now press M, then click the merge by distance operator. Adjust the merge distance value if needed, and you fixed your problem. To prevent this, I'd recommend going into wireframe mode by pressing Z and then clicking wireframe. Doing this, then zooming in to inspect your geometry is a great habit to get into. Plus, using X-ray in Blender is a great way to resolve modeling issues and troubleshoot in general. Be mindful when pressing the E key in Blender, which is extrude, because if you press it and don't move your mouse, you will still make new geometry at times, which can cause problems. Another really important thing to keep in mind when you run into rigging and modeling errors are the differences between tris, quads, and n-gons. A general rule of thumb in 3D modeling is to use quads, which are polygons with 4 vertices and 4 edges, in your topology as much as possible, because quads make various modeling and rigging operations much easier to manage. With that said, using tris, which are polygons with 3 vertices and 3 edges, is totally fine for low poly models that don't need to be subdivided. In a similar vein, strategically using tris in areas where they don't cause issues when subdivided, such as in the knees and elbows of your characters so that you can get a better bend, is totally fine as well. However, n-gons, which are geometry with more than 4 vertices or edges, should be avoided in your final 3D models as much as possible, as they can lead to numerous problems when modeling or rigging characters or basically any 3D model. If you'd like to check if your 3D model has any n-gons in Blender, all you need to do is go to edit mode, make sure you're on face select, then from the top menu in the 3D viewport press select, then find the select by trait dropdown and do faces by sides. Click on that, then unselect extend, set your type to greater than, and set your number of vertices to 4. Because n-gons are always more than 4 vertices, this will highlight and automatically select all the n-gons you have on your model. If you don't see anything selected, perfect. That means you don't have any n-gons on your model and you're good to start adding modifiers and rigging your model. Rotating, moving, and scaling your objects in object mode can cause various issues when you're rigging, exporting your models, or applying modifiers to them. This most commonly causes issues with the mirror modifier. If you've ever had objects in Blender not mirror from the center of your scene as expected, this is why. That's why it's usually recommended to rotate, scale, and move your object in edit mode when you're 3D modeling, rather than doing so in object mode. As a result, it is best practice to apply all transforms on your object before doing rigging or modifier operations to be safe rather than sorry. To apply this fix, with all your objects selected in object mode, apply their location, rotation, and scale by pressing Ctrl+A and clicking all transforms. This resets your location, rotation, and scale values, which will fix a lot of the issues you might run into when it comes to rigging your model and also applying modifiers to your model. You can check the values on your object in the N panel, also known as the transform tab, to make sure your transform, scale, and rotation values were reset. To avoid this issue, make sure to do most of your transforms in edit mode rather than object mode, and apply these transforms before using modifiers and starting the rigging process on your model. This one seems odd, but because of some poor UX design in Blender, it's one of the most common student mistakes. Parts of your mesh seem to just disappear. This is due to pressing H by accident, which is an extremely easy mistake to make considering that move in Blender is G. Fix this, press Alt plus H in edit or object mode to unhide everything. Just keep in mind that you can hide verts, faces, and edges individually in edit mode, separately from object mode where you can only hide objects. If you're still missing stuff, make sure to go to the outliner panel and click any closed eye icons. Another reason why geometry may seem to disappear at certain angles is because of face orientation. Think of each face on your model as having a front and a back side. This is visualized in Blender by enabling the face orientation option under viewport overlays in the 3D viewport. The blue color visualized here are front faces and the red color are for back faces. Back face visibility or back face culling is a material setting that hides the back sides of faces, which make them transparent. This is a common practice to improve performance and prevent visual clutter, as you generally don't need to see the inside of a closed object. Certain modifiers in Blender, like the solidify modifier, depend on face orientation to determine which direction to add thickness, meaning that incorrectly oriented faces can really lead to a messy mesh, and some rigging operations in Blender rely upon face orientation as well. So knowing about face orientation is really good when troubleshooting different modeling issues. You can flip a face's orientation, also known as its normals, by pressing Alt plus N and clicking flip, but we're going to talk about normals in more depth later on in this video. To prevent this problem, you can remap the hide command from H to Shift plus H using the key map editor in Blender if you're hitting it a lot by accident, or you can simply press Alt plus H to unhide all in edit mode or object mode. If movement, scaling, or rotation seem a little messed up, like your mesh is either moving like jello or way more than your active selection is kind of following along with it, this may be because you've turned on proportional editing. Proportional editing is turned on by pressing O, and you can use it in both object mode and edit mode. To turn it off, all you do is press O again, or you can click that little blue icon with a circle pattern at the top of your 3D viewport. You can also adjust the influence radius of your proportional editing by using the scroll wheel. Do objects, faces, or vertices on your model suddenly snap to grids or teleport to other geometry while you're moving it around? This most often occurs because of an accidental Shift plus Tab press, because that turns on snapping. To fix this, all you need to do is press Shift plus Tab again to turn snapping off, or you can click the magnet icon in the top bar of your 3D viewport. To prevent this, you can either press Control plus Shift plus Tab to quickly change your snapping settings, or just press Shift plus Tab again to turn snapping off. In a similar vein to hiding things by pressing H by mistake, if you accidentally press any of the number keys on your keyboard from 1 to 9, suddenly a ton of objects in your scene might just disappear. To fix this, you can either press Ctrl plus Z to undo your action, or you can go to the outliner to click the eye icon next to the collection you want visible once again. To prevent this, you can unbind every hide collection hotkey in the key map editor if they're causing you headaches, and honestly, I do this myself because I find this action just practically useless in the year of our Lord 2025. By the way, if you found this video helpful so far, make sure to like it and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to watch future videos that go over the fundamentals of character modeling in 3D animation in Blender. And turn on notifications to get updated when more informative videos just like this one drop. One of the most universal, frustrating experience for new Blender users is Blender crashing, which causes you to lose hours of work. This happens, but it doesn't have to. You can use the File, Recover, Autosave feature in Blender to look for Blender's automatically saved scene backups. Or you can go to wherever on your computer you saved your blend file to look for Blend 1 or Blend 2 files, which are backups of your blend files Blender automatically creates. Just rename these files from Blend 1, Blend 2, or whatever they're called to just .blend so you can open those files in Blender. But to avoid losing individual animations, textures, and other data blocks you've created, let's talk about fake users really quick. You might have seen this shield icon in Blender. That represents the fake user feature, which essentially keeps a data block saved in your blend file even when it has no real quote-unquote users. When this shield icon is activated, an F appears before its name, indicating that the data block, such as an animation or texture you created in your scene, will not be deleted. As a result, whenever you're making new textures, animations, or geometry nodes in your scene, make sure to click the shield icon next to it in order to keep the file protected from deletion, as sometimes Blender doesn't realize that you're using that data block and will accidentally delete it. Another great way to guard against losing that kind of data though is by saving incrementally, using the hotkey Ctrl plus Alt plus S in order to make sure.
That's a good one to know.
Sure, you're keeping incremental backups of your scene as you continue working on it and modifying it. One of the absolute
Is this
best
the real Vox
time-saving
learning
Blender
Blender?
habits you'll ever develop, however, is just getting in the habit of pressing Ctrl+S to save your Blender scene every minute. Too. Plus, saving to a location on your computer that is automatically backed up to the cloud, for example, a Google Drive folder, a OneDrive folder, or a Dropbox folder, protects you against the risk of hard drive failure, data corruption, or accidentally saving over a previous version of your blend file that you'd like to return to. I kid you not, as I was editing the audio for this section, I realized that the outro of this video's audio was accidentally overwritten like an hour ago. I tried undoing as many times as I could to get it back, but all my editing work was just gone. And thankfully, because I had cloud saved this Premiere project, I was able to go back to a save that was saved to the cloud about an hour or two ago, download it, copy and paste the audio from that part into this newer version of the project. This is not an advertisement, I'm not being paid to say this, I just am a really, really strong believer in saving your projects to the cloud. It will save you so many hours of headaches. I use Google Drive for this, and I use this to return to previous versions of blend files constantly. It's a really useful feature even when you are using incremental saves. For this problem, I'm strictly talking about non-photorealistic or stylized 3D models and textures, just like the low poly ones that I create on this channel. If your textures are looking great on their own, but look off when they're actually applied to your 3D model, try the following. Color management in Blender ensures your renders look realistic, accurate, and consistent across different display types and software. It translates the scene linear light values into what your monitor can actually show, which prevents washed out or overly bright images. However, I make stylized characters in renders personally, which means that I don't care about any of that. Because of that, I want to use the standard color management option so that the color values on our textures closely match up with the colors that we see in Blender. Using an emission as your shader helps with this too, because when we set the value to 1 and turn off the scene lights in scene world when we're using the Eevee render engine, it'll match our texture's color.
Let's go back
as your shader helps with this too, because when we set the value to 1, using an emission as your shader helps with this too, because when we set the value to 1 and turn off the scene lights in scene world when we're using the Eevee render engine, it'll match our texture's color and brightness values 1 to 1, which is what I usually want. Just again, make sure you're using Eevee as your render engine, turn off ray tracing, shadows, scene lights, and your scene world in order to get a very accurate representation of what your textures look like applied to your 3D model. But if you're doing something stylized with actual shading and shadows, another really important thing to understand are normals. Imagine a paper-thin flat surface that has two sides. A normal in 3D modeling is essentially a line that sticks straight out of that flat surface that is perpendicular to it. This tells the computer which side of that surface is the outside. Our 3D models are made up of flat surfaces that are called faces, and each of those faces has its own normal. To visualize normals in Blender, enter Edit Mode, then go to the Overlays dropdown and click the Normals option. You can adjust the size of these normals for better visibility in that same menu dropdown. Understanding normals is really helpful when troubleshooting shading problems, as well as when using custom shading setups in Blender, either using normal maps or the data transfer modifier. If you are purely interested in making stylized renders like me, you can prevent this issue by going to the File, Defaults, and Save Startup File option in Blender. This saves you an incredible amount of time and frustration in the long haul by setting up preferred defaults in Blender. If you change your render engine, color management settings, and even the default shader on your cube, then do the Save Startup File option, it will automatically load all of those settings every single time you open up Blender. And it will declutter your scene if you never use things like the camera, the default light, or the default cube that Blender starts with. And this will also save the way you set up your panels in Blender, so it can really optimize your workflow by saving your preferred workspace. Can your model just not be rigged at all? Usually you get this issue after a bone heat weighting error. To fix this, select all the objects in your scene you'd like to rig, Then press Ctrl+A to apply all transforms before rigging. Another important thing to check before rigging is to select all verts in edit mode, press M, and then click the merge by distance option. Adjust your distance if needed. And with all your objects selected, pressing Shift+N to recalculate normals can also help sometimes. Having n-gons on your model can also cause similar problems and should be avoided. Remember, you can see how many n-gons your model has by going to edit mode and going to face select, then pressing the select drop down, finding the select by trait option, and then clicking faces by sides, setting your vertices to 4 and your type to greater than with extend disabled. That will automatically select all the n-gons on your model. Now you can easily turn those n-gons into quads or tris in order to avoid rigging issues. With all that done, now you can try parenting your rig to your mesh, which should now work as expected. But what if, for example, you moved the hand on your model and the hair of your character or even its shoes followed along with it? That kind of issue, however, is fixed by weight painting. To understand how to fix weight painting errors, we need to first explain vertex groups. Vertex groups in Blender are groups of vertices used to weight paint vertices to a model's geometry. The values these vertex groups have on your model's vertices determine how much influence a bone on your rig has on those vertices during an animation. Vertex groups are essential for creating smooth deformations in character rigging and animation. Now let me show you a super useful trick. By selecting your model, going to edit mode and clicking on any of its vertices, in the item tab under vertex weights, you'll actually be able to see every single vertex group that has any influence on that selected vert, and you can even change their values from here. You can use this to find which vertex weights are being wrongfully applied to any part of your model in order to resolve weight painting issues. And what I personally like to do to solve many weight painting issues is that making sure that auto normalize is enabled, I'll find the vertex group on my model that is problematic and use the gradient tool at 50 to 100% opacity to fill in my model. If it's a symmetrical part of my model, however, like my shoes or hands, I'll make sure to enable X symmetry at the top of the 3D viewport before I weight paint anything. While weight painting issues are not 100% preventable, make absolutely sure that you keep auto normalize checked and enabled before you do any weight painting so that your weight values cannot go above 1. In fact, you might want to change your auto normalize setting in your startup scene and save it because you're going to want to keep this enabled in order to avoid a lot of weight painting headaches. For the final Blender tip of this video, rather than go over specific Blender issues that may come up, let's go over 3 extremely useful tools that you can use in order to save untold amounts of time and frustration throughout your Blender journey. First, let's start with F3 search. If you've ever forgotten a hotkey, you know how frustrating that is, but F3 search essentially eliminates that problem. It is incredibly helpful for beginners because it provides a quick, searchable menu of practically every Blender operation. This saves you time because you'll no longer need to memorize hotkeys or menu locations because you won't have to hunt through complex menus or remember obscure keyboard shortcuts. All you need to do is press F3, then search the name of the action. The hotkey of the action will be displayed right next to it, and it can even help you discover new Blender features. For example, if you want to extrude, subdivide, or do something with a material, all you have to do is search that operation, and you're going to see so many relevant options immediately. So instead of getting stuck trying to find a specific tool or hotkey, use search to save you a bunch of time. But now let's talk about quick favorites. Quick favorites in Blender are incredibly helpful for beginners because they allow you to create a personalized, context-sensitive menu right next to your mouse of your most used tools and operations. You can add any action in Blender to this menu at any time by right-clicking on the action and clicking the Add to Quick Favorites button. Now, whenever you press Q, you're going to have an option to use that at any time. This saves you so much time by reducing menu hunting so that you won't have to navigate multiple submenus to find a specific tool, and it will streamline your workflow by having essential tools readily available, meaning you can establish a more fluid and efficient workflow and helps you stay focused on your creative tasks. The last thing I wanted to talk about was Blender's 3D cursor, origin points, and transform orientations. In Blender, the 3D cursor is the spawn point for new objects and acts as a precision snap target for various modeling operations. The object origin, however, is the pivot point for rotations and scaling, and having a misplaced object origin can cause really strange rotations. If you ever need to fix your object's origin, all you need to do is go to the Object tab at the top of the 3D viewport, click on Set Origin, and then you use one of these many options in order to fix it. What's really useful though is you can use the hotkey Shift+S to snap your 3D cursor to your object, or do the opposite, snap your object to your 3D cursor. This is useful when you want to spawn spawn objects at specific locations or move objects to exact positions. All you need to do is select any vertex, edge, or face that you'd like to move in edit mode, then press Shift+S, cursor to selected. That will move your 3D cursor to your selection, but if you'd like to do the opposite, click on selection to cursor to move your selection to your 3D cursor. You can even move the exact position of your 3D cursor if you'd prefer by pressing N, going to the View tab, and adjusting the location and rotation values of your 3D cursor right here. This also works in object mode if you'd like to move whole objects this way. Another important aspect of manipulating objects when modeling and animating are the transform orientations that you can switch between at the top of the 3D viewport. Blender's default transform orientation is global. Global is the world's fixed coordinate system, which is the same for all objects in your scene. The local axis, however, is unique to each object in your scene and changes as the object rotates in object mode. Note that the object's local axis does not change when rotating your object in edit mode because the actual rotation values on your object remain the same when rotating in edit mode. The normal transform orientation even allows you to transform parts of your object based on the direction of the normals on your model's faces, which is extremely useful for many modeling operations. Transform orientations give you precise control over your objects and prevents hours of frustrating modeling and animating, so I highly recommend keeping these in mind while you're modeling. Always double check your transform orientation in the 3D viewport whenever you run into weird rotations or object movement or need to do something a little bit more precise. Before we close out this section though, whenever you're having Blender issues, here's a quick checklist that you can screen cap and reference whenever problems arise. But now let's move on to the final section of this video. I asked the experienced Blender artists in my Discord server what advice they'd give themselves when they were first starting out using Blender, and I received so many valuable responses that I when this video. Whenever you're having Blender issues, here's a quick checklist that you can screen cap and reference whenever problems arise. But now let's move on to the final section of this video. I asked the experienced Blender artists in my Discord server what advice they'd give themselves when they were first starting out using Blender, and I received so many valuable responses that I've boiled down into 4 categories. Let's get right into how you can apply all this incredible advice to your own work for years to come. Making sure to watch good Blender tutorials on YouTube was actually one of the most common pieces of advice I saw, but I can tell that you're already doing a really great job with that part. Ideally, you're going to watch high quality tutorials that break down the fundamentals behind what you're creating so that you can use the skills you're learning to make your own creations. That's exactly what I try to do with the tutorials on this channel, so make sure to subscribe and like this video if you're finding this useful so far. But while tutorials are essential for speeding up your Blender learning, don't front load a ton of tutorials before you get started making stuff of your own. The information learned won't stick unless you develop your own understanding through creative action. When you're first learning Blender, don't worry about add-ons when you're starting out. While rigging and UV unwrapping add-ons can be really nice to have and save you a bunch of time, it's often best to learn how to do things in default Blender before learning how to use add-ons that accomplish essentially the exact same tasks but faster. It's best to understand the fundamentals before jumping to a shortcut. Another common piece of advice was to take the time to learn the most basic Blender shortcuts. That's going to be things like using S to scale, R to rotate, G to move, and X, Y, and Z for locking movement along those axes. Don't try to memorize all the shortcuts in one go though. Just keep making projects and you'll memorize them through repetition. My Blender modeling hotkey guide that is included in my full character modeling course covers all the hotkeys that are most important for 3D modeling and will save you a lot of time. Again, link to the course is in the description below. I see so many people in my comments say they want to learn 3D modeling, but they suck at drawing and couldn't possibly draw a turnaround drawing. Or maybe they love 3D modeling, but just can't rig or UV unwrap their characters to save their life. But the reality is that everyone sucks at these things when they first start out. If you told me I'd be teaching 3D modeling—
Don't be a fryad. Don't be a fryad.
Full time a few years ago, I would laugh because I genuinely considered myself terrible at those things back then. All of these skills like drawing, coloring, 3D modeling, texturing, rigging, and animating are all learnable skills, and learning them is often easier than you might expect. After all, you're watching this tutorial on YouTube, which has thousands of excellent tutorials on learning how to draw, texture, 3D model, animate, and more. With that said, of course, it is important not to overwhelm yourself when initially learning Blender, and to just learn one thing at a time. And yes, if you don't enjoy a certain skill, don't force yourself to learn it. You don't have to be a jack of all trades, but just don't be scared to learn things like animation, rigging, texturing, modifiers, or shaders. The resources are out there. You can learn them and make the model, animation, or game of your dreams. I believe in you. You got this. But if hearing all that makes you wish there's a more sequential, guided tour through all the fundamental skills required to use Blender and create your own rigged and textured characters, check out my Gumroad course that teaches my full workflow for creating any low poly character that's perfect for beginners. We break down concepts such as the fundamentals of character design, drawing turnaround sheets, painting textures, 3D modeling, rigging, animating your character, and even more in an easy to digest structure. And my low poly course is on sale until October 31st. So in order to lock in the absolute best possible deal, make sure to get it today. Link is in the description below this video. One of my favorite pieces of advice that I received was to just ball with it. Don't stress about the right way to do things in Blender. If it works, it works. Your first model will be your worst model. Stick through your first dozen terrible models so you can start making good ones. Never be afraid of failure because your continued learning will result in growth over time. Avoid burnout by completing the stress response cycle. If you don't know what that is, I made a video about it right here and you should definitely check it out if you struggle with anxiety or burnout. And in a similar vein, make sure to take regular breaks and pace yourself. If you're low on sleep, stressed, or anxious, you're putting a huge impediment on your ability to create and learn new things in general. This is a process we're supposed to enjoy and have fun with, so remember to relax and focus on the process. Remember that Blender is an art form and a journey. This last category might be the most important advice that was shared over and over again. And that is firstly to start with a rough plan before you open Blender. 5 minutes of planning can save you hours of time. While Blender is really good at making your ideas real, it isn't necessarily the best tool for planning and refining your ideas or coming up with new creative ideas. That's where writing and doodling come in. When you feel inspired to open up Blender, first spend a minute or two writing down some ideas of what you'd like to create and your goals for the project. And if you enjoy drawing, thumbnail out some sketches of what you'd like to create and include some notes in the margins. Just this little bit of planning will save you untold amounts of time in the long run. And similarly, the ultimate cheat code to speed up your learning is to study from high quality artists and 3D models from websites such as ArtStation, the Models Resource, and Sketchfab. When you include searching up references into your planning process to break down how the pros build their models and texture their work, the quality of your models will jump light years beyond what you thought was possible. And finally, don't just make models, make projects that excite you. Because when you're passionate about what you're making, you'll stick it out even when you hit roadblocks or get frustrated. Plus, project-based learning is just far more valuable because it moves you to the stage of Blender learning beyond passive information consumption. While YouTube tutorials show you a solution, an actual modeling or animation project forces you to discover your own. And going through this process of making projects builds exceptionally useful Blender skills, like how to problem solve as you encounter unexpected problems and figure out how to resolve them on your own, as well as the critical thinking skills you'll pick up as you learn to evaluate different approaches using Blender and choose the best one that works for you, rather than just following along with the single guided path a tutorial gives you. Plus, it gives you very valuable project management and research skills that'll help you learn to plan, organize, and manage your time to complete complex designs, and the ability to find and creatively synthesize information from multiple different sources, not just one tutorial video. This was the overwhelming feedback I received after hosting the 1024 challenge earlier this year, where you were challenged to make a low poly character model with 1024 triangles or less. So many people on Discord shared that while they've followed along with Blender tutorials before, they've made the donut, actually going through the process of making their own character model taught them so much more than simply following along with a tutorial ever could. Even though following along with those tutorials helped build their fundamental skills, actually going through the process of making their own model from scratch got them out of tutorial hell and got them into learning and making their own stuff so much faster. So next time you finish a guided Blender tutorial, make a project that's somewhat similar to the tutorial you followed so that you gain a deeper understanding through exploring the real world challenges and problems that come up when creating these 3D models, rigs, and animations. But that about covers it. I know that's a lot of information, so I hope that this video can serve as a guide that you can repeatedly revisit throughout your Blender journey. Make sure to download the free companion guide to this video that is linked in the description below so that you can keep it right next to you at...
What do you mean thought it was Metal Family? That's literally glam. That's literally glam. You can't tell me that's not glam from Metal Family. That is like... You can't tell me that's not him. Like you just can't tell me it's not. It like, come on. I liked it. We're not gonna take it. I love Metal Family.
As you're modeling, 3D animating, and rigging in Blender. And if you want more of a guided tour through Blender that covers all the various fundamental skills you need in order to make your own characters, check out my Gumroad course that teaches my full workflow for creating low poly characters. It's perfect for beginners and breaks down complex topics such as the fundamentals of character design, drawing character turnarounds, painting textures, rigging, animating your character, and more in an easy to digest structure. The price of this course increases on October 31st, so make sure to get it today if you're interested. Link is in the description.
All right. Well, there goes that. So, let's open up Blender, I guess. Oh, brother. All right. So like I kinda get it. Oh, whoa, 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 what am I moving? What is that, the light? Okay, so if I were to do this and then... What do I need to click? View, and then frame selected. There we go. So then, how does the light work? Okay. How do I... Oh yeah, I gotta do this. That's cool. Like, I understand a little bit more. Goodness gracious. Alright. So what, this would be like... I could do the auto-keying and then... If I were to... Or... No. And then... Oh, yeah. Okay. It is basically like... Okay, yeah, makes sense. What if I were to view this from the camera? Right. Okay. That's cool, though. Let's just undo all of that. Oh. That was my problem. I wasn't shifting myself around the screen. All right. So what is it again? It's like I have to change my... So in edit mode, because object mode is me grabbing like the whole object. What is it for? Yeah, you can do like the whole box thing. Or how does this work? Oh. Oh yeah, this is all sorts of funky looking. And then what is... No, hold on. What is the face select? This one, right? This one, and then I go like E, and I bring it in. So I make it like an empty box. Yeah. Box. I make it a box. Oh, hi, Cam. Is the box for me? Make the box red like Alistair? Or was that base? What? How do I make different kinds of surfaces? Like this? Texture coordinate? No. What would I need to add for that? I can add shaders, glass. What is this? So if I were to use this, like this. Oh, now the box is, I understand it kinda. Okay, so if I go back to layout, oh my god, now the box is a mirror. The box of self-reflection. Okay. What is this? Shading. Okay. So, from what I understand, so if I were to do add, that was texture, right? Principal shader. So that, the principal is like normal. So what is, I want to see what the glossy one looks like. Oh, I can make it like, oh. So I can make it like kind of shiny. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Right? It's actually like, it's kind of pretty. Box. Vox box? Vox box? This is cool though. Like I understand it. I understand it a bit more. I still don't like super get it, but the more I mess with Blender, the better I'll get with it. I need to use the bathroom real quick. I'll be back. I'll be back, chat. My girl don't want me 'cause of my dirty laundry. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right, we're back. Be real, did you wash your hands? The fans want to know. Why did that, like, just come through? No. I'm not eating. I just need to use the bathroom real quick. No. I do as I please. Hello, Draco. My girl don't want me 'cause of my dirty laundry. What is it? Control A. No, what is it? Shift A? Shift A. Wish there was a better way of, like, moving it around. Nobody gives him a handshake today? I keep to myself. All right, now how do I... How... How do I... How do I add one of them shader things? Oh. Material output. Okay. Oh, it's a disco ball. That's what it is. What does a diffuse one do? Huh. I don't think I know what the diffuse one does. Ugh. Goodness. Hmm. 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 That's so odd. Oh. Did you resend? I said no. I didn't wash my hands. Y'all keep asking and keep pressing me over it. I said no. No, I didn't wash my hands. Hey, I got guys, I didn't wash my hands. I didn't wash my hands, guys. Hey guys, I didn't wash my hands. I didn't wash my hands. Are you gonna ask again? Are you gonna ask me again if I washed my hands? Good God. Hmm. Hmm. I don't get what this means. Oh goodness. What am I doing? What am I doing to this poor ball? Goodness gracious. I'm just trying to see how it, like... how it reacts. Ah! Also, the camera is, like, confusing to move, kind of. Might just be me. Hmm. Hmm. Wait, could I... Oh! My blender froze for a second. Hmm. And then I have to add like an actual color. So I can do like this. I don't really get what this means. I'm sure it's something for like some weird texture shit. Can I just go like this and delete? Yeah. Did you send it again? Is that like another donation? I'm just not gonna read it. Goodness. Oh, this one looks nice. Oh, I like this shader. Oh, I can make it like transparent too. Huh. Huh. Hmm. Yeah, I said I'm not gonna read it. I told y'all to quit asking. You asked again. I'm just not gonna read it. It's as simple as that. Hmm. Hmm. That might be enough. That might be enough Blender. I'll try to learn more Blender. I'll learn more Blender another time. Ugh. Let's open up Krita again. Sweet. All right. Ooh, where am I getting pinged? Okay. Swap this over. Stomach book. Never heard of them. Peak song artist. What should draw? What should I draw? Vox in a box? Sure. Hmm. Yeah, something like that, whatever. What? What are y'all on about? What are y'all on about? I'm so lost. It looks so goofy. Here, let me clean it up a little. Oh yeah, right clicking is I need like a not fucking square eraser. There we go. There we go. Let me also, put this on weighted. A little bigger. There we go. There we go. Box in the box. What else? Hold on. What are you on about? All right. Yeah, y'all stop. I can only warn you so many times before I just am done entirely. Sweet. Where's the brush I was using though? Was it this one? Yeah. All right, Vox in a box. Vox in a box. Vox in a box. All right. No more Vox in a box. He's getting deleted. All right. One next. The poop hat? What? Ooh. This one's pretty smooth. Draw Pomni? I could probably draw Pomni. All right, let's see. All right. How does Pomni look? She's got... Let me just get a good circle. There we go. And then she's got big ol' line number 1, big ol' line number 2. And got her eyes, her mouth. She's got hair. It goes like this, right? And then she's got hat. And the hat's got little balls on it. And then hold on. Welcome. Hold on. If I had 2 monitors, it would just be so much easier, but all right. How do I insert again? What was it? I don't remember. How do I add something? How do I add a reference layer? What was it? Also, she needs to be drawn bigger. Let's just delete her. I'm trying to draw Pomni, but I forgot how to put a reference layer. I forgot how to insert a reference layer. I just don't remember. It does that. I was trying to see what it does, but I can't make my window smaller or it'll mess up. It'll make it look weird. All right, bye-bye. This is Krita. This is Krita. It was layer, I think. Yeah, there we go. All right. All right. All right. Bye-bye, people who are leaving. Okay, so I was more or less correct though. It's like circle, she's got her eyes. I'm drawing it like this first because I'll clean it up after. Circle. Circle. She's got a little smile. A little over. Then she's got big ol' fucking hat. Right? Yeah. Big ol' fucking hat. Big ol' fucking hat. Big ol' fucking hat. Duffy's Digital Circus? No. I don't know. And then little neck. Then her little body. Then the shoulders. And then the thing. And the arms. Oh. A circle. Holy moly. Maybe I should have been sketching it with weighted instead. Inside of every demon is a lost cause. Okay. And then hands. Ugh. All right. Also, to be fair, I am drawing with a mouse. Am I gonna play music? Yeah, I guess I can.
Blender is an extremely powerful.
Let's see.
There's an endless stream of passion built in hundreds of bugs. If you love this intro, just wait till you smell our rugs. 'Cause people are from
What an excellent first song.
hypodermic needles left all over the place. And all that's I've grown immune to being sprayed by me. So I gotta take my knife and stab them all in the face. Treat me like they're queen because I'm covered in rat noise. Magical land, hotel of my dreams. Disgusting as ugliest building that I've ever seen. And I get to clean it up. Nifty, what are you doing? Helping! Can you help differently? Okay! ホテルは本当にとても素敵です。チャリはとても優しい好きです。彼女は成功すると信じています。とても大好きです。いつも会社は trash。そして彼らは asshole。でも私はまた夢を信じてます。私は clean it up。Yes! And that's why the hotel is good, right? Yay!
Goodness. Sweet! Goodness. Aww. Well, thank you. I hate this. You know what? Alright. I know what to do. The I show speed thing. Aw, so cute. So cute.
いつかのページ書き殴った言い訳ばかり探している毎日にさよならつけるよ走り出す列車に飛び乗った終着点は見えないけど今なら初めて不安も始まる希望も二つを一つにこの世の腕で愛してみせよう
What, you want me to cover Clint Eastwood? I know the song. Finally, someone let me out of my cage. Time for me is nothing, but I'm counting no age. I couldn't be there. I couldn't be square. I'm under each snare. Intangible. Bet you didn't think so. I command you to. Panoramic view. Yeah, I make it all manageable. I love gorillas. All right. You know, it's like close enough. It's close enough. Nom nom. Ugh. Oh, the hair. Ooh. All right, let me see. There we go. Omni. Okay. Goodness gracious. Shink. Oh. Thank you, thank you. I don't really feel like drawing much else. But here, let me. Excellent. All right. Here, I'll just screenshot this. There we go. All right. I think. I think it's time I end stream. Stream has been going for almost 4 hours. But, as always, it was lovely. Everyone being here. I'm feeling productive today, so I may or may not get some audios done. So look forward to that. I'm probably gonna go for a walk or something. What's up, Zelm? What's up? What's up? One last question before the end of stream. More Stanford Pines. Do I get copyrighted? Yeah. So I don't make any money. I don't make any money from ads from my streams, basically, because I play copyrighted music. Like, I still get the money from donations and stuff, so I don't really care. I don't really care if I get copyrighted. It's not a copyright strike. It's just the video doesn't get monetized and they make money off of the views from it. But you know, I truly don't care. Most of the streams only get like 1,000 to 2,000 views anyways, so I'd make like maybe $10, I don't know. But, you know, whenever I do streams like specifically for making money, I make sure I don't play any copyrighted music. But, you know. But it was lovely having you all here. I don't know, there aren't any Stanford Pine audios planned. Just because, you know. I'm not saying it'll never happen, but I do prioritize usually what is performing well. Which, lucky for me, is Has-Been Hotel and The Amazing Digital Circus. So, you know. Praise be the algorithm for letting me make content that I enjoy, instead of having to be stuck on Cookie Run. Oh, I hated that. I hated being stuck with Cookie Run content for so long, because none of the other content was doing well. It was just Cookie Run that did well, and I gotta make money somehow. Gotta make the doubloons, the schmackaroons. All right. But, you know, I can make whatever I want. I'm just bad with motivation sometimes. All the things. And like, you know, why am I talking about Cookie Run? Why do you care? Huh? Exactly. Buddy coming into my stream. Why are you talking about Cookie Run? Why are you talking about Cookie Run? Alright. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye, everyone. Audios, all the cool things. Bye. Trust us with your content. Alright. Goodbye, everyone. It was lovely having you all here.